and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. Today I'm really excited to share with you all 18 shades of the new Conceal and Define concealer from Makeup Revolution. They kindly sent me all 18 shades and I'm really grateful to Makeup Revolution to do that. I so appreciate that whenever they send me anything, and of course I'm really excited also to share it with you. So if you're outside of the UK and you cannot go to a Superdrug store, you can obviously purchase from tanbeauty.com, but you can't see necessarily the shade range. It's really nice to be able to see swatches, so I'm going to be doing that for you today, of course. Also you can purchase from superdrug.com as well, and you can purchase from Superdrug Stores. And again, you know, if you can't get to Superdrug for whatever reason, hopefully these swatches will help you as well. So if you haven't already seen my videos, and I've done 3 videos on these already. So the first one I shared with you swatches of the shade C3, C4 and C5. I think, yeah, it was those shades, I believe. And then I shared with you a try-on of C4, and then I also shared with you a try-on and how to contour with the shade C11. That shade wasn't quite deep enough for me, however I have been using it every single day, so even though it wasn't that deep and I could have done with perhaps a shade or 2 deeper, it has worked really well, and obviously I'll be talking about that in a little while because I want to share with you swatches. I also want to share with you how I found the product, because I've now been using it every single day since I purchased it, because I want to, you know, get a good feel for the product. I've also been changing up how I apply it, so obviously I'll be sharing that with you as well. But first of all, I just want to show you around the product if you've not seen any of my other videos. So it looks like this. It's in tube form. You are getting 0.11 fluid ounces or 3.4 ml of product. There are rose gold, you know, detailing to this, so the stickers on here are all rose gold. Also, you unscrew it there, and when you pull it, and I've mentioned this before, there's like a stopper inside, so the product, you're not having any waste of a product, or it doesn't go around the top, so it's taking away that product and just leaving it on that doe foot applicator. And the doe foot applicator is huge, so it's just one swipe and it goes all, you know, it's one swipe does the job. There's also a little bit of a dent, or yeah, dent there, so it's actually picking up the product. So like I say, one swipe, your eye, underneath your eye is covered with enough product. So I really love the applicator, but of course I'll be talking about that more in a little while. Now you're getting 18 shades, like I say, and when you look at these at the bottom, they always start with the letter C, and then they go up from C1 to, of course, C18, depending on which shade. Now I'm going to swatch all of them now for you and then go through the shades. So this is the lightest one, C1. I would say that it's like an apricot shade. It's not what I would say extremely pink, and I wouldn't say it is extremely yellow either. So it sits in the middle, I would say. It's like more of a peach colour. So yeah, that's what I would say. Now they do dry down as well, but they don't oxidise either. So the shade that you're getting is the shade that, you know, you'll be applying basically, and it does set, and like I say, it doesn't oxidize. So that is more of, I would say, a peach tone. Then we have C2, and C2 is more neutral in tone. It has a little bit more yellow tone to it, so that's C2. And I hope you can see that okay. So that's C1, that's C2. Then we have C3, which is what I'm wearing today. I actually usually put C3 on and then C4 after, but the postman came to deliver these, so I forgot all about C4, so it is just C3. So this has definitely got more pink tone to it. In fact, that's why I went for this one, because it is quite light, so I wanted to test that out, of course, but it has got those pink tones to it. And obviously this is C3 on me, so yeah, that's what I'm wearing, like I say. Then we move on to C4. Now I know that this one has definitely got pink tones to it. It's the most pink, you can definitely see that one. So these are, I mean, C3 is definitely you know, has pink tones to it, but you can see it definitely doesn't have, or it's not as pink tone as C4. Then C5. Now you're definitely going to see the difference here, because C5 has definitely got that yellow undertone. I mean, you can definitely see that. So that's more pink, that is more of a yellow undertone. Then we move on to C6. Oh, now this is a surprise because C6 looks lighter than C5. I hope you can see that. So that is very yellow in tone. And then we go back to, and this one is, I would say, again, it's a neutral. I wouldn't say it's got too much pink to it. It's, I would say, a little bit more of the yellow undertone to it, but it's definitely not as deep as C5. So then we move on to C7. So there's C7. Again, it's very neutral. I would say if you were to mix C6 and C5, you would get C7. Then we move on to C8. So there's C8, definitely yellow toned. So C8. Then we have C9. So that's C9, and I would say it's more, again, it's like a pinky peach undertone to that one. It's definitely not as yellow as that one, and you can see that, I hope. So then we move on to C10. So there's C10, definitely again more of a yellow undertone. I think now, because I'm swatching them against each other, you can definitely see the undertones more clearly. That one definitely looks more peachy pink, and this one has more of a yellow undertone to it. Then we have C11. So again, definitely more of a yellow undertone. So that's C11. And you can definitely see by the swatches how opaque they are. Then we have C12. So this one here is C12. Then we have C13. that one is C13. Then we have C14. So there's C14. Then we have C15. So that's C15. Then we have C16. So that one is C16. Then we have C17. I think I'm just going to be able to make it on one arm. So there's C17. And then the very, very last one is C18. Whoops. And there is C18. So there are all 18. Oops, I can't show you that way. So there's all 18 of the shades for you. What I will do is I will put, I'll take a picture, I think, of 5 shades at a time and then add that to Instagram. If you do want a particular shade, you know, a single shade, and you would like me to do perhaps a close-up of that shade, I'm happy to do that for you. Just obviously DM me on Instagram and I'm happy to take a picture of that and pop that on Instagram so you can see that more clearly. But I hope that you now have got a fair idea of which shade will suit you. I think it's a really, really good shade range there. You've got some really light tones there going right up to very deep. So I hope that your shade is in there. But like I say, I'm happy to do any swatches to help anybody, you know, if they would like a close up. But I will be putting 5 at a time on Instagram as well, because I don't think I'm going to be able to take a picture of all of those, but I'll see what I can do. So I hope that you found that helpful. Now, of course, I have been wearing the product now for a little while, so I want to give you my thoughts. Now, I do have issues. I've always had dark circles, and of course, as we get older, we do have, I mean, even when I was younger, to be honest, I had a little bit of puffiness. It's just, you know, how it goes, and you know, we all suffer with different things, and that has always been my issue. So what I'm trying to say is that I have tried over the years so many concealers. I really loved the Freedom Makeup Camouflage Paste. I've also tried the Gigi Hadid, the Jet Setter palette. There's a concealer in there that I really liked. Like I say, I love the Camouflage one as well, or Camouflage Paste from Freedom. Before that, I actually tried so many and couldn't find anything that worked for me. But since I have found this one, this has worked incredibly for me. I found that it covers everything that I want. It also gives me the brightness that I want as well, because I even went to Debenhams once when I was searching for, you know, a concealer that may work for me. And I said to them, because obviously I'd seen on YouTube, and this was, you know, a few years back now when I was an avid watcher of YouTube. And I'd seen that you put a lighter tone there, so I went into Debenhams and I went to actually a very expensive brand in the hope that I could get a concealer. And when I said I want it a shade or two lighter than, you know, my skin tone, what actually matches my foundation, they looked at me as if I was saying something totally alien to them. But of course, what I wanted was, I just wanted to brighten up the under eye, which, you know, if you're like me and you're quite, you know, I've got dark hair, dark eyes, and I suffer with, you know, the dark circles, you want something to brighten. So this, what I'm trying to say is, not only will you get the coverage in this range, but you'll also get the brightening effect as well. I mean, I can see myself looking into my camera that the brightening effect is fantastic, and it really has. And I am giving me confidence, because, you know, that was always my issue. We always have an issue. Everybody has an issue or issues that they're unhappy with and want to change. And the dark circles under my eyes have always been an issue for me. But this new concealer, you know, not only does it cover everything I want, but it also, so it conceals, but it also brightens as well, which is what we all want. We want to be bright under the eye. We also want to conceal anything. I've tried it on blemishes as well. I had a blemish here caused by Christmas. It covered that. What I will say is, though, that it does set. So you don't necessarily have to put powder over it if you don't want to. I generally what I do is, when I apply it, I add the first layer, then I add my first, you know, little bit to my routine, my makeup routine, is apply C3 first of all. Then I will apply my foundation, and then I'll get C4. I haven't done that today, but I'll get the shade C4, and then I'll put a second layer on, and that works for me. I don't want to put 3 layers. I did put 3 layers on, and it's too much. So I put the 2 layers on, and it works this is what I have, you know, this is what the 2 layers is what I've got on today, and it works so well for me. So obviously I've just been you know, testing it out, like I say, over the last week or so. I've also tested out how to apply it. So when I applied it on my video, I used my finger, and that worked really well. Then I tested it out using a little brush, which is how I used to apply the Freedom concealer and also the Gigi Hadid concealer. That didn't work at all. It took away from the I don't know whether the product soaked too much into the brush, or whether it was that the brush just, you know, took the product, it just distributed the product too much, but it just didn't have the same coverage with the brush. And then I tried it with, I don't have a large like a sponge, but I have a little mini sponge which I use to actually apply the liquid highlighters, and that has worked. In fact, that's what I did today. I used the sponge today, and it's worked really well. I didn't even dampen it, I just used it dry, and it worked so well. So out of the 3 that I tried, either a finger or a sponge works best. I just found that the brush did not work at all. I mean, it's full coverage, so I've mentioned that. It does set as well. So after a little while, it just feels like my skin. In fact, if you're a regular user of the Loreal, the foundation that I'm wearing, which is the Loreal Infallible matte foundation, that's what it feels like. It feels like a second skin. I absolutely love it. I just think for £4 it's remarkable. They've done such a good job. It's given me confidence now, although, you know, the Freedom and the Gigi Hadid worked really well, but this is even better. It feels like a high-end product, but at a very reasonable price. I mean, £4. I often say that when I use expensive makeup, you know, and I do have expensive palettes, although not as many as I used to. Half the time I'm so worried that I'm going to love it, because then I know that, you know, if it's £40, £45, which a lot of these product palettes are now, and that's actually, you're jumping from you know, the lower end of the spectrum right up to say £45. These you know, middle of the range palettes are. They seem to be getting very expensive, and I'm so scared to like anything that expensive, because if I do like it and then I use it and, you know, I hit pan or something on my favourite shade, I've then got to pay another £45 to replace it. So when Makeup Revolution came out with these, and like I say, they seem to be like a high-end product for a very, very inexpensive price, and I'm not worried about using these at all, because I know that I can replace it. £4 is such a reasonable price. I can afford £4 very easily, and of course it's readily available. I don't have to you know, obviously you can order it off the site, but it's readily available whether you do order off Tan Beauty, Superdrug, or go into store. It's readily available. It's not hard to get hold of. I never tried Shape Tape, and I know that a lot of people have been doing, you know, saying this is very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. I haven't got that product because I think that, you know, however much that is, and I think it's £20 and above, it's just too expensive for a concealer, because again, you're going into that you know, using something that you use on a daily basis, and if you actually run out of it, you've then got to pay another 20 odd pounds for something that really should be inexpensive. So well done, Makeup Revolution. They've not only come out with a fantastic product, they've also come out with a range of shades that, you know, I think is really good. I've not seen any drugstore brand that has got 18 shades of concealer, and it's at a very, very reasonable price. I'm just absolutely blown away by it. Obviously, if you want to ask me any questions, you can leave them down below, or of course you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram details will be down below as well. And like I say, if you do want a singular swatch of a particular shade, then again, do message me and I'll do that for you. I'm happy to do that. And I have done it in the past. If someone wants a close-up of a certain product, I'm happy to do that. I'll just show you the swatches one last time. So C1 is there, going right down to C18. And you know, we've got light tones, we've got medium, and we've got deep there. So I hope that that has helped you. Again, I'll just repeat that you can purchase this from tanbeauty.com, superdrug.com, or Superdrug Stores, and it is just amazingly enough £4. So I'd love to hear your feedback, whether you've been testing out this product, what shade you think you might be. I'd like to hear your feedback about how you think it applies on me, what you think it looks like on me, and any feedback really. As I always mention in every video, I welcome any feedback, obviously positive. Mine is a positive channel, and you can always say something that is not quite so you know, you don't have to be too negative, and that's what I get from you. So even if you don't, you know, agree with what I'm saying necessarily, or you don't like something, you don't necessarily have to be really negative, and I really appreciate that from all of you. You're always very, very positive. I absolutely love that, and that is why I always encourage the comments, because I receive some absolutely fantastic comments from you, and yeah, I would love to hear them. Also, if you're brand new to my channel, you've just found me, please subscribe. I do try and bring a lot of Makeup Revolution products as soon as I possibly can, and give you as much information as I can. But until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.